What's up? It's Naomi the Crafty Savage here, and I am back for this week's Wip Chat. As you can tell, my voice is, I'd say it's like 98% back. I still have like little moments where it sounds a little funny, but it's nothing like Saturday, right? So, my whip, I swear I'm working on something. See, look, I got my crafting bug back. I got it back, guys. You see the paint on my hand? Yes. So, I am in the process of making the coaster pictures with the Mod Podge for Chicky Nuggy. So I'm actually sitting at my desk right now. I just sent a whole slew of pictures that I need to like trim down, print out. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing right now. So if you kind of like see my eyes going all over, I'm looking from one screen over to the other. But good gravy. Where are my manners? My mama would have my freaking head. How are you guys? I hope you're doing fabulous. As you can tell, like, I'm a hell of a lot better than I was last week. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, whoo, last week. Honestly, I want to say like the last 2 weeks. Like I was just, the first week I was like, the last week I got in my head. Like it just, and I can't believe I let myself do that. Like I'm always the one that's like always telling other people like, get out your head. Like get out of your head. Stop thinking about it. Like, you know, sometimes it's like you can give the best advice to other people, but when it comes to yourself, you're like, whoop. Yeah, like I said, it didn't take me long. You know, I was like I knew, like when I recorded the video last Wednesday, like I knew I was in my head. I knew I needed to get out of my head. Yeah, I'm just hopping all over the place here. But yes, so with my hand, I think I said it. Yeah, I'm making the little coaster pictures for Chicky Nuggy, so. A cute little picture of her up here. Like, oh my gosh. She melts my freaking heart. She really does. Like, that girl, I tell you, she could get me to do anything. Like, anything. She'd probably be like 16 years old and be like, hey, Aunt Nay, help me sneak out to go meet this boy so my dad don't find out. Now, I don't know if I go that far. But, her dad is afraid of me. You know what I mean? Even though we're older, he's still afraid of me. So I'll be like, don't worry, I got your back, Chicky Nuggy. I got you. Run, girl, run. So anyway, let's get into last week, right? So last week's Wip Chat, you know, you guys are freaking amazing. Like, amazing. I don't usually get, like, that personal. I don't think I've ever really gotten that personal, like, on here before. But it was just, like, some of the people, you know, that have been with me for a while, like, you could just tell I was not my happy, like, woo, yay. And it was, like, no matter how hard I tried to fake it, like, it wasn't happening. Like, I couldn't do it. You know, that whole fake it till you make it thing. It wasn't happening. Not gonna happen. And I just needed to remember who the hell I was, you know, pick myself up off the ground. Cause yeah, you know, you can have like a little pity party for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, but you cannot stay there. Like, no. You need to pick yourself up off the ground and start putting one foot in front of the other, like, and just keep going. Just keep going. So, yes, so that's kind of where everything is at. Oh, I'm looking at these pictures of Chicky Nuggy. Guys, if you could see them, I'll have to, because I have, like, I think I have 12 coasters painted. I definitely sent myself more than 12 pictures. There's one I think I'm going to make for myself. When I was in Pennsylvania in January, and I stopped off at my brother's and my sister-in-law's. Oh, this one's me and my sister. My sister, I miss her. But yeah, when I was up there in January, my sister-in-law turned around to me and she was like, I think you two, now she doesn't call her Chicky Nuggy, and I don't know, have I ever told you guys Chicky Nuggy's real name? I don't know, but she told me, she was like, I don't, what did she say? I think you and Iris are going to look alike. And I was like, maybe. And then I came across a picture, because I've been like going through pictures that my aunt's like putting together something for my mom, that my mom knows about it. So, and if you don't know about it, the mama, oops, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. Just, I don't know. You didn't hear that. So, where the hell was I? I was going through pictures, and me and Chicky Nuggy. It was like when I first met her. So I'll show you guys these pictures. I promise. I'm just kind of like going through memory lane here looking at these. But yeah, so where was I at? I don't freaking know. I don't know. Let's just, we're just going to be all over the place, guys. That's this week's. Like, I should just come with like a warning label. Like, I don't know. Like, I just need a warning label. Yeah, so Thursday, I was still, like I said, like I want to say I was like out of my head, like I was, but stuff was like still kind of just like affecting me. It wasn't until maybe like a couple days ago, like where I just kind of feel like I snapped back to myself, like where I'm not even thinking about it. So yes, I don't want to edit the header. And my Chicky Nugget, I know what I was talking about. So when I was there in January, you know, my sister-in-law was like, oh yeah, you know, I think, you know, she's going to look like you. And I mean, like, we definitely, like, our eyes are, we have the same eyes. And I was going through pictures, and I came across a picture from my mom's wedding. And I was like 3. And now I used to like suck my thumb. And I love silk. And I think my mom's garter belt was silk or whatever. I don't know. But I had the garter belt in my hand and I was sucking my thumb. Well, you can only see kind of like half of my face because of the garter belt. And I sent it to Steph and I was like, I think you might be right. Like, I think me and Chicky Nuggy might look the same. And she was like, yeah. She's like, you guys definitely have like the same eyes. She was like, do you have like a picture that like shows your whole face? So, you know, it took me a couple days and I found it and I sent it to her, and she, was it last night, 2 days ago, sent me like a side-by-side picture of me and Chicky Nuggy, and it's like almost the same thing, down to like we're sucking our thumb the same. I sent it to Allison and she was driving today. We'll get into that. But she looked at the picture when she was like stuck in traffic and she was like, holy crap, like you two really look alike. And I'm like, yeah. No, I mean, she does have some of my sister-in-law's like features, but she definitely took after like mine and my brother's side of the family. I think Moose is going to look more like my sister-in-law's side of the family. But I don't know. She's still kind of bald. And I'm like trying to remember what Chicky Nuggy looked like with, like when she was that little. Because Moose is, how old is Moose? 4 months old. Like that she was born in December. We're only in April. Come on. I need to get my life together here. I mean, it's not going to happen today. It's probably not going to happen next week. But, you know, I'm just going to put that on my to-do list. Like, get your freaking life together. Yeah, so Thursday, I don't know what I did. Friday, like, I was... Oh, my gosh. I love Fridays. I really do. Like, Thursday, you know, sometimes Wednesdays... But, like, Thursdays, I start sending out, like, the past due invoices, like, hey, like, you're going to pay us, right? Like, excuse me. And there was this one builder that, like, even going back to last week, like, it's a new builder, so, like, I had to fill out the vendor packets, all that, get the insurance cert, send, you know, the W-9, and it's like 40 pages worth of stuff. Scan it all into the computer, email it over to him. Now, he's telling me, like, I'm not getting it, and I'm like, but yet you got the invoice I sent to you, right? And you're able to reply to that saying that, like, well, no, this isn't the right price. Having me second guess myself, you know, thinking like, did I look at the wrong invoice when I entered the estimate for the billing? Like the whole, you know what I mean? And I look at it and I'm like, yeah, no, like you signed right here, like this price, like we're not playing these reindeer games. Like go play stupid with somebody else. Cause like I don't handle stupid well. And by like Friday, I had sent this freaking vendor packet, right? And first off, it takes 2 emails because like that's how many attachments and just different crap, right? 2 freaking emails to send all this stuff over that he wants. And he's like, and I'm asking him like, hey, like you owe us at least like 60%. Like we don't know you like that to, you know, be putting you on 30 days. So, and he's like, well, I can't pay you until I get that. Dear Lord, like have mercy on my soul. I was like, all right, well, you know, I'll just talk to Dan. And I call up Dan and I'm like, Dan, I'm just about ready just to make a copy of this, have one of the guys stop by, pick it up, and drop it off at his office. Like, I'm like, and he's like, Naomi, calm down. I'm like, no, Dan. I'm like, you know, I don't handle freaking stupid well. Like, it would have been fine until he replied back to the invoice that I sent him. So I'm like, dude, I know you're getting my emails. Like, even the last one, like, I even sent the, like, you had to click the thing and it comes back to me that you freaking read it. But yet he still wants to play stupid. Like I said, these builders, some of them are just absolutely lovely and fantastic, while others, they learn. Like, I'm not just some stupid chick sitting behind, like, just a desk that you're just gonna, no. Yeah. And that's why, like, usually, like, they don't deal with me. They would rather deal with my boss. Yes, but I don't know. But my boss, he knows. Like I said, he's known me since I was, like, I don't know, 9, 8, between, like, 8 and 10. So, and obviously, I'm a lot older now. So, the moose. That's so cute. Oh, my goodness, there goes my throat. But yeah, and then like I talked to Allison. I've talked to Allison. I can't tell you how many times this last week. So Allison's just gonna be like a big bundle of bouncing around from days to days. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, I'm like 98% better. I still have like a little thingy. So that's the other thing before I get into Allison. The ABCs of April Shay J Reid style. I'm hoping to have videos start going back out again on Friday. So, and let me know down in the comment section. I don't mind like extending it out until April. Or do you just kind of like want me, I can like do 2 diamond paintings, like show 2 diamond paintings in one video. I think if I do that though, I would fight with, you know, that hard plastic, you know, my nemesis. Like I probably already have them like unrolled out of the thing, you know, maybe just show another one like, okay, this is how they look, but just to make it go faster. But at the same time, like, I know sometimes like when you watch somebody unbox diamond paintings and it's like more than one diamond painting and it's not like a small snack size one, that like it carries on and you're almost like, this is kind of boring. So let me know down in the comment section, you know, should I just extend it out going into April, or should I just double up on diamond paintings for the couple days that I missed? Because what I missed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it'd be like 6. So Like if I did it, it'd be like next week, basically next week or the next 6 days starting Friday. Oh crap, I don't know. You definitely have to let me know Thursday night so I can get it recorded, so I can get it out on Friday. If I should just double them up so that way I still end with Z at the end of April, or if I should just, you know, just keep it going and April turns into May, right? I don't know. Let me know. So, okay. Getting back to Allison. Like, this girl, let me tell you, right? So, first off, the Allison best friend stealer, you know, her boyfriend, just kind of keep him in your prayers. He, last week where I was like, oh, he's fine. There's some things going on that I'm not gonna really get into, but definitely just kind of keep him in your prayers. He's got to get different tests done, and yeah. Then Allison, actually, I talked to Allison today, and she called me because she was coming back from, oh, that's the day I met Moose. I miss Moose and Chicky Nuggy, I really do. So she was coming back and she had her car loaded because she just bought a house and she did all the signing today. And I'm like, I'm so freaking proud of her. But where she's moving to, it's not a bad place. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's not ghetto, anything like that. It's just, how do I put this nicely? Because, like, I'm, even when I go to say this town's name, gonna have to, like, watch what I say, because that's not what I call it. So she's moving to Quakertown. I call it Quaker see you next Tuesday, okay? Because some of the entitlement of the people that live there, like, it's so congested, like, yeah, I'm like, and like, she even said, like, for a couple months she's been looking for a house, and she was like, I don't want to move to Quakertown. I don't want to move to Quakertown. Girl bought a house in Quakertown. So she's calling me, and she's like on the one highway, and literally, like, I've lived there twice in my life, right? I lived there before it was built up, where literally, like, I went out my back door and there was just this, like, cornfields, like, just cornfields. Freaked the holy living crap out of me, because I was always so afraid that, like, the children of the corn were going to come out popping out of them cornfields. Yeah, so I didn't like being outside at night. Even though we had, like, a fenced-in yard, I still was like, no. And then when we still lived there, I think when I was in high school, they, like, the farmer who owned all it's a sad story, but long story short, he passed away. He, like, they sold the land, or no, he sold the land. Something happened that he became unalive. They basically got rid of all the cornfields, and, like, it was like I walked out and there was a movie theater in the backyard. I mean, not close, but I could walk there. And just, like, that whole thing turned it into, like, a shopping center, and then they just built all these other shopping centers, built more developments, and it's like, there's only so much you can fit, and it, like, even taking the back roads, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not getting there anywhere faster. Like, sometimes it's even faster to take the highway than it is the back roads. Like, it's just nuts. So yeah, so I had a good laugh that she bought a house in Quakertown. So whenever I get my jolly little behind up there, which I gotta find out, because the girls are getting christened they just don't have a date yet. So as soon as they get a date, I will be taking my slap happy butt back up to Pennsylvania to be loving on my nieces. And yeah, I'm just waiting on the date. I'm like, I need to know, because like I have other things that I want to do too, and I don't like, if I like the other things, like I'm taking a plane, so whoops. But I know what's gonna happen, that if I book this flight, it's gonna be like, oh hey, like the girls are getting christened, and it would be like when I'm already away, and I'm like, so I'm kind of like holding out, but at the same time I'm like, I need to go. Like I need to go do something. Like I need to like get away, take my vacation. And it's usually around this time that I kind of start feeling like I just need to get away. I just need to get away. And then usually like May, or what was it last year, like July. Whew, let me tell you, that trip up to Pennsylvania in July, it did my soul freaking good. Like I think I needed to be around my siblings and just, yes, okay, that's not gonna be too small. Sorry, I'm just trying to like, I don't want to have to keep printing out these pictures. And like the coasters are, I don't see anything, but like they're a decent size. But when I did this the last time, I had to print it out a couple times because it just, yeah, so get the chicken out of here, moose. Then let's see, what else about Allison? So she bought her house. Oh, and this freaking dirty bird, right? So I'm talking to her last night, right? And she's telling me, she's like, yeah, I don't even know how it came up, because we'll this, that, the third, the other, back to this, circle around the roundabout, come back to it. Somehow she was like, oh, she's like, I might have a guy for you. And I'm thinking like, have you not talked to me this last week? Like, I'm not interested. Like, no, I'm good. That's a hard freaking pass for me. And she's like, no, it's a guy I work with. Like, he's really nice. Da, da, da. And I was like, so what are you over here, like, playing freaking matchmaker? Like, you trying to hook me up? And she's like, no. So here, this guy that she works with was like, they were talking, and he was like telling her, like, I just wish I could find a good girl. And she was like, I know a good girl who's tired of being like dicked around by guys. Da, da, da. And he was like, oh, really? Who? And she's like, oh, my best friend. And he was like, oh, well, what does she look like? Right? So, of course, this freaking heifer has to go, pulling up my freaking pictures and showing them. And he was like, oh, he's like, I'd love to meet her. And she was like, well, that's the thing. Like, she lives in Florida. And he was like, Allison, like, that's not doing me any good. And so, like, she was just telling him about, it's like some of the things, like, douche canoe, about, the whole, she was like, yeah, like this one guy she was talking to, turned around to her and told her that he didn't like how she called manatees floaty potatoes. And she was like, she was like, he turned around and was like, that is so adorable. Like, I'm just like, exactly. Like, maybe I need to go back up to Pennsylvania. Like, Florida men just are not my cup of tea. Like, just not my cup of tea. Like, I'm so like, done. And what, it's like, I've only been like trying to date him for real. I mean, like, more like seriously, like trying to find something out there, like the last 2 years. And if you've been around, like even before my channel, and then with my channel, I'll have it for like 2 years come June. Most of the time I'm like, I'm not even looking, but like when I like, I don't know, like fall out of my tree and bump my head thinking like, let's try this out. It is not very long after that I'm just like, you know what, like I'm I'm good with the dog. Like, I'm just good. Yeah. So, I don't know. One of these times I'll have to get into some of the strange, the one dude, the first dude I ever met down here in Florida. Strange, all right? Like, just strange. Like, there is now, like, a list of questions that, like, when I first meet somebody, I'm like, okay, A, B, C, D, and now this one's gonna sound strange. What about this and this and this? Like, which you never thought you would have to add to a list. Come down to Florida and date. Like, I swear, every time that I'm like, oh, let me just... I'm like, let's add another question onto the list here. Like, the next time, like, you lose your freaking marbles and they're rolling down the street and you're like, let's see what's out in this dating world. Guys, like, oh. And the sad thing is, like, the dude I'm talking about, he was probably the most normal out of them all. That's the guy that I call Puff the Magic Dragon. Yeah, because, you know, I just like to give these dudes different names. Not that there's a lot of them, but yeah, like, oh, man. You know, and then I realized, I'm like, well, what state did you move to? Florida. They have Florida, man. What the hell did you think you were going to find here, Naomi? Like, because it sure in the hell is not what I'm looking for. Like, not at all. Or maybe I'm just in, like, the wrong section of Florida. But I have even branched out further than that, too. And I'm just going with that. It is just Florida, right? So, yeah. So, Allison's over here, you know, trying to play freaking matchmaker with some dude that she works with up in Pennsylvania. Like, she is like, come home. Come home. Yeah. And then also her oldest turned 10. And I'm like, I'm feeling old. Like, she's 10. Like, how can she be 10? Like, I remember. So one time, like, I had just broken up with somebody. This was probably about 10, 11 years ago. And now I stayed in Pennsylvania, but I was like 3.5 hours away. I was like up in like State College area. And I'll have to get into that one. That one, I think I might have a little bit. Like, I talked about some of the things with him and how that just went. And I was like, I gotta go. Like, you're not dragging me down. Yeah, that was the dude that I would get flowers because the day ended in Y, down to, like, on our 1-year anniversary, it's like, oh, here's my leftover lunch. You know, and then I found out, like, he was doing, like, some hardcore drugs, and that's the one where I was like, I need to get out of here. My God, my heart is melting over here, guys. I'm getting all sidetracked. Where was I? So Kaya, right? So I had just recently, like, left that situation. Like, my aunt, my mom, 2 of my brothers, like, they got a U-Haul truck, and my aunt drove her SUV up, like, and we just loaded my stuff in this, like, and I was out, and I wound up, like, staying with my mom until I could find a job, like, down in that area. Well, I usually do office work, like, it's what I do, right? So around that time, it was, like, so hard to try to find a job. Like, and growing up, my dad always told me, like, you don't quit a job until you have another job. Or, like, if for some reason you get laid off. I've never been laid off, though, before, you know, knock on wood. You know, but, like, something like that, where it's, like, not your choice. He's like, you make it a job to find a job. And I made it my job to, like, try to go out and find a job. And I had a car payment, and I think that the way it was set up, it was like my car payment was due every 2 weeks instead of monthly. And my aunt and uncle, like, and I thought, you know what I mean, like, I have great references, all that. good work ethic. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not an idiot just because I might, like, dumb it down sometimes. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I'm not a idiot. Yeah, but I mean, like, it was getting really hard to find a job. So Allison was the manager, as she posted on Facebook, you know, like, well, if anybody's looking for a job, you know, like, message me. So I'm like, okay, at this point, because it was like, it just asked, like, it was like, I was like running out of money of what I had saved to, like, move back. Because at this point, it probably been like a month and a half. Like, when I say, like, I was probably going to like 2-3 interviews. Sometimes there was like 2 interviews a day. Sometimes there was 3. Like, I mean, I was like, I made it my job. But it was just like so hard to find a job. So I'm like, okay. So I message Allison and she's like, yeah, you know, just stop by, you know, fill out an application. She's like, I'm here now. She sends me the address. I'm like, oh, that's up in Collegeville. I know where those streets are. Tell me why I pulled into an adult world. And if you don't know what an adult world is, it is an adult store that sells a lot of things, like a lot of things, right? So she, you know, and I was like, at that point, I was like, you know what, like, I think I was going to be working at nights, like where I worked 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it was like an hour away from where I was living, even though they had one there. I was like, I ain't working in that one. Like, I grew up around this area. Like, no. Like, because if I see somebody I know walking up into this store, I'll be like, Like, I don't think I could look them in the eye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they probably couldn't look me in the eye either. I mean, because we both be like, yeah, we're just going to pretend like we didn't see each other in here. Like, you don't see me working behind here. Like, I don't see you in here. Like, I'm not going to read the titles of the videos you picked. Like, and also the big thing was the one that was like 5 minutes from my house had what I like to call the whack shacks. And if you were a closer, you had to go in there and clean all that. Yeah. Nope. Not happening, Captain. So I went up to the one in Collegeville. And, you know, of course, Allison hires me. So I'm like, okay. You know, and I remember, like, where was I? I think I stopped by my aunt and uncle's because it was, like, on my way back. And my uncle was like, I told him, I was like, oh, yeah, I got a job. Da, da, da. And he's like, oh, where? And I told him where. My uncle didn't talk to me the whole time I worked there. I think I worked there maybe like a month and a half, 2 months before I left there. And it wasn't like I planned on making it a career of like selling dildos and vibrators and I'm not going to get into everything that's in those stores because, I don't know, YouTube will probably be like, turn the comments off, you know. Yeah, so, so he didn't talk to me. Something happened that made me quit there. And then I wound up, like, I did... Like, when you went and knocked on people's door to ask them about to lower their electricity bill. No, like, I'm not the, like... It's like, my thing is, like, if I knock on your door and you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, all right, have a good day. Like, and I just keep going. Because I know, like, with me, if I tell you no, you know, like, I'll probably be nice, just a little bit more sterner, like, the second time. Because I'll be like, all right, you know what I mean? At least they're... Just at least try it, you know? If I gotta tell you more than twice, like, I'm mean. Like, I'm mean. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. Like, just, I freaking told you no. Like, go. Yeah. So I was like, so yeah, it wasn't really that good. And it was like, it was like a scam. It was a freaking scam. And, yeah, never again. So then my uncle was like, well, do you want to come back, working for the business? Because I worked for the drywall company in Pennsylvania before I decided, let me lose my marbles and freaking, give up everything that I have to move 3.5 hours away. Like, live and learn. Live and learn. I tell you. Yeah. Oh my God. Do you ever just like look back and think like, the hell was I thinking? I'm just blaming young and dumb. That's what I'm going with. Just young and dumb. And my chicky nuggy who looked like a puppy dog. Okay. Anywho, where was I at? Yeah, so I moved. So my uncle was like, well, do you want to come back working for the company? And I was like, yeah. Like I'm done. Like I just want to go back to just like 40 hours a week. Not when I worked in Pennsylvania, like I worked more than 40 hours a week, but yeah. Yeah, so anywho, I'm totally getting off topic. So her daughter turned 10, right? And I remember it was, for some reason, me and her were at the store together in the morning. And this is what I didn't get. Like, there'd be 2 people there in the morning, but you were there by yourself closing at night, like, and leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was, yeah, anyhow. So, and she was, like, really close to her due date. And she was having, like, the worst back labor. Like, I think this was a Friday. And maybe it was at night. I don't know why she was there, but she was there, right? Both me and her were there. And I mean, she had like back labor where it's like she wasn't in labor, but she just like her back was killing her, right? So I'm like trying to like massage out like, the knots and all. And I'm looking around and I'm like, do you know what store we're in? We got like, I mean, let's be creative here, like those little vibrating things, they could be used for other things, right? So I grabbed one of the testers, right? And I'm behind her. This thing's like vibrating. I'm like vibrating her back. So like we have a joke that like I vibrated Kaya out of her because she went into labor. I think her water broke like that Saturday or Sunday or something like that. Like Kaya was born like 2 days later. So we always joke that like I vibrated Kaya out of her. Yeah. So yeah, I just feel old that she is that freaking like that. She's 10. Like, she's the one that I stole, the one Wip Chat where I'm like, I stole a toy from a 2-year-old. That is her. I stole her walrus that I still have to this day. See, like, what else did I do Friday? Oh, I talked to TSL Dame, like, and I was just, like, filling her in on just, more like, in-depth stuff, from, like, last week with that freaking, I don't even know what to even call him, like, just crazy freaking psycho ex, like a stage 5 clinger. Yeah, now do you guys get like the inside freaking silly haha message when I do unboxings and I'm like, like, do we need to go to the courthouse? Do we need to get a restraining order? Like, whoop, yep, it's a stage 5 clinger. Yeah, so his name's gonna be stage 5 clinger. And I was like talking to her, getting more in depth, explaining, because we talk all the time. And I was like, okay, so like, and I'm like reading these messages to her and like telling her the dates, like, and I told her, I was like, like I tried the, like being nice. Cause I mean, like, obviously, like when we broke up, I was like, delete you off of social media. Like that was real easy. But like, you can still, like after a while, some exes you can still be friends with, like I have some exes on Facebook and Instagram that like, I'm friends with them now. Like, are they over there, liking all my posts? No. Am I over there liking all their stuff? No. Am I like commenting? No. You know what I mean? Like every now and then, you know what I mean? But it's nothing like, it's like a friendship, like we're adults. Now, obviously in the beginning, yeah, not so much, but over time, people, change, whatever. So And that was like how it originally started, how he was able to get through on Facebook. It was like after some time, you know, and it was like I didn't block him from my phone. So I added, you know, he sent me a friend request and I was like, oh, okay, you know. And I'm going through and I'm reading her, you know, like with the dates and the time, you know, and this. And we're like FaceTiming. And she was like, he's a freaking psycho. And I'm like, exactly. Like, he's a freaking psycho. Like, there's a reason why I left. You know what I mean? Like, yes. So, and that's kind of all we're going to get into with that, because yeah, like, I haven't heard from him. Like, I have him blocked every which way to Tuesday on everywhere I can. If he's gonna reach out again, like, he might be sending me freaking messages. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I blocked him again after I unblocked it to, like, read the things off. And, yeah, like, just, if he's gonna reach out again, it's probably gonna be, like, around my birthday, which is in, like, a week and a half. About, like, a week and a half. Like I said, the only way you can get a hold of me is TikTok or YouTube. And he would never comment on posts. It's always private messages. So I'm like hoping, you know, fingers freaking crossed, like, finally, right? Whew. Thank you. Like, I will be so happy. You have no clue. Saturday, I got up and I cleaned and I did like the little dance party thing, but I was still kind of like, I don't know, like, I just wasn't feeling it. I think, you know, I was still kind of like, I was getting out of my head. Like, I wasn't like in my head. I was like getting out of my head, but I was still just kind of like in a slump. I was still like, I still couldn't sleep. I was still only getting like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So I was like, yeah. But, you know, like, I did it because you guys, you know, you guys enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to do it this Saturday. I might. I don't know. We'll see. And then I sat down to record the Savage story time, and that's when I realized, like, my voice was like, and I was like, because I hit record and I started talking, and I was like, should I do this? Should I not do it? And I'm like, just get it out there. Like, everybody loves Savage story time. I love doing Savage story time. Like, my two favorite videos to make are the Whip Chats and the Savage story time. Like, I mean, I'll do unboxings, all that. There's only so many ways you can show an unboxing or something new. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I just, like, me personally, I like doing Whip Chats and the Savage story time. So I just, like, went with it. You know, and you guys are freaking awesome. You're like, because I would have kept pushing myself probably to the point where I didn't have a voice. And you guys are like, no, like, you need to take a break. Blah, 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 like, we'll understand. So thank you guys for understanding. I definitely, you know, needed that break. Now, I kind of had to, because it's weird, because I live by myself with the dog. So a lot of the times, like, I'm not talking to myself, so I don't hear my voice. So it was just like, I would have to, like, say things out loud, like, almost every day, and be like, okay, where's your voice at? Where's your voice at? You know, and play it. I almost recorded a unboxing last night, but my voice was still kind of like, and you can still kind of hear it. It's still a little, like, raspy a little bit, but nothing at all. Like, Saturday, so I was like, you know, you still also have to do your Whip Chat. So I was like, okay, like, we're just gonna go with it. So like I said, probably Friday, I will start having the ABCs of April, you know, Shay J Restyle, start back up and go. Let's see. Sunday, I got up and I was lazy, like I said, like, literally last night is when I feel like I got my crafting bug back. It was like 10:30 at night when I was like, I'm gonna start painting these coasters. So, you know, of course, I got to go digging, trying to find where the hell I stuck my paint. I did the first, you know, round, but I got to paint them twice before I put the Mod Podge and the pictures on them. So, yeah, So I got my crafting bug back. Like I said, it's not diamond painting, but I think, I've been diamond painting for 4 years now. And you just kind of, like, there are times you just hit that, like, slump where you're just like, I don't feel like diamond painting. Like, I just don't want to do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, bam, like, diving into diamond painting again. So I know it'll come back around. I just got to give it time. Let's see, what else have I been up to? Yeah, so Sunday, like, I just got up and I was just watching TV, just playing on my phone. One picture. Like, what are you doing to Moose's head? Anyhow, yeah, and I was just, like I said, literally last night I started, so that was like Tuesday, I started like crafting again, kind of getting like my little crafting mojo back. So I was just kind of like just lazy, watching TV, and like I think everything just like finally caught up to me. Like, I think it was like a couple days had passed, it was like a week had passed, or almost a week, where I hadn't heard from him. And I was like, I think it was like almost like a sigh of like just relief. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oh my God, I can breathe. And it just like, I think just being up, and running on like 3 to 4 hours of sleep for like almost over the last week and a half, like it just like, remember, I think I started watching Beef on Netflix, and I was sitting in my bed or just watching it, and then like the next thing I know, it's 9:30 at night, and I'm like, oh shit, like I just took like a 4-hour nap. So I quickly, I got up and I took Roscoe out and all that, and I soaked in the bath because I knew, I was like, you gotta figure out, like, you got work tomorrow, girlfriend. Like, if you want to get paid, like, you need to go to bed, because like Monday is not the day for you to be tired. Like, and I can't call out. I can't say I've never called out on a Monday, and my boss knows, like, if I call out on a Monday, like, I'm sick. But I will still at least like go in and run the payroll, because, and take it to the bank, because guess what? If I don't do it, nobody's getting paid. So yeah, fun stuff. Now, I mean, there hasn't ever been a time where it's like bad, like where I think I've only called out on a Monday one time, and it was just like, I wasn't like where it's like, I mean, should I have probably been out in public? No, probably not, but I just ran to the bank, and it was even during, the rhinoceros. So it was like I wore a mask the whole 9 yards. What else did I do on Sunday? So, also before I fell asleep. So when I woke up on Sunday, now I didn't take Lady out on Saturday because her dad was off. And he was off on Sunday, but for some reason in my head, when I woke up, like, I thought I had to take her out that morning. So, like, I get up, I get dressed, I grab the keys, I walk over there. Now, I don't see his, car in the parking lot. And I'm walking over there, and I'm like, I unlock the door, I walk into his house, and I notice that, like, the gate's not up on the stairs. And usually, like, where he leaves, like, Lady's harness and all that. And I'm like, that's strange, because, like, it's like there's a gate up on the stairs, and like once I bring her back, like I take the gate up, so if she wants to go upstairs, she can. But it was just like, usually things are in a certain spot, and I'm like, And then I'm like, didn't he tell you on Friday that he's off this weekend, right? So I pull my phone out and I look at the text messages. Sure enough, he was off on Sunday. I didn't need to be over there to take Lady out, right? So I'm like, oh my God, like, but also like his car wasn't there. Now, like if his car was there, like it would have probably clicked before, I was like halfway down the sidewalk. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I ran into him later, like in the afternoon. And I told him what I did. I was like, yeah, I'm like, and here, like, we must have like just missed each other. Like, he must have just left when I went over there. And I was like, yeah, so, like, I kind of went into your house and then realized that, like, you were off. So, yeah. But this week, it's actually pretty easy. It's like, instead of walking Lady in the morning, I'm walking her in the afternoon because he's working at nights. So, it's easier. Monday through Friday. I'm like, I got that. I won't forget that. But I told him, I was like, look, I'm like, I would rather go over there and take her out thinking I needed to take her out than not go over there, you know, thinking like, oh no, I don't think I have to. So yeah. Then Monday, it's, you know, work. Then, yeah, I ran to the bank and I did not get Gabriel, right? I'm getting a little tired of this, right? So he was doing something with the manager and I'm like, I mean, at least they're keeping him at that branch, right? They're not, like, sending him off to another branch where I'm like, yo, like, you need to give me his address because he's, like, the best freaking teller. So, yeah, I didn't have Gabriel. I didn't really talk to him in, like, almost a week now. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of, I can't really tell you what's going on with Gabriel. All I know is he better not be leaving that branch. Like, again, I'm being selfish. I don't want him to move up to Orlando with his girlfriend. Like, I don't. Like, no, you got to stay down here. Have your girlfriend freaking move down here. I think it would be easier. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if he would actually go for it. I should probably tell him that the next time I see him, right? So from the bank, I ran to go get, you know, Roscoe's food from, like, the only freaking place that carries it. And as I was driving there, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I think I'm going to start getting my nails done again. I'm like, I miss Alex. And literally, like, where the shopping center that I get Roscoe's food in is where the nail place is, you know, where Alex, where I would get my nails done. So I go and I get the food. I carry this, you know, bag out to my car. I put it, you know, in the car. And I'm like, all right, let me quick run over there and set up an appointment with Alex. So I go in there and I don't see him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe he's on vacation. Maybe it's like his day off. You know, maybe he comes in later, you know. Like, let's not, you know. So the lady's like, oh, you know, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, I just wanted to, you know, set an appointment up with Alex, you know, to, you know, start getting my nails done again. And she's like, oh, Alex doesn't work here anymore. Excuse me, what? He doesn't what? Like, so I was like, oh, well, like, where did he go? Like, you tell me he went to Miami, like, beach, like, I am hopping in the car. We will make it like a weekend road trip. I will drive the 3.5 hours down to freaking Miami to go get my nails done by Alex. Like, we all know how much I loved Alex, loved how he did my nails. That, like, I'm picky, you know, like, and he got it. Like, he just got it. No, this mofo moved out of state. Like, I don't know who he is. Like, I told him I was coming back. Like, I told him, like, yeah, so I sent him a message on Instagram. Yeah, like, dude, where are you? Like, you need to bring your butt back down to Florida because, I mean, yeah, like, I could have somebody put the nails on, but it's like his designs, like, no, like, and if you're new to the channel, like, if you watch some of my old videos, like, you will see, like, and designs and all kinds of, like, I would go in there and be like, you know, and then sometimes I'd be like, I don't know what I want, just do what you want, you know, and he would just do whatever he wanted on my nails. So, yeah, I'm a little disturbed by that. Yeah, so now I'm thinking that I'm going to cut my hair. Right? I know. I'm like, Naomi, maybe you're being like a little drastic there. Like, don't go cutting your hair right now. Like, don't worry. Like, I'm not being like drastic, dramatic where I'm like, let me cut it up. Hells no. No. Like, to me, like, I'd probably cut it. So it's, I don't know. It comes down pretty long. I don't know. Maybe like, not that you can see, but like up to here. But to me, that's still short. Like, that's, where's the dog at? I got to make sure I don't roll him over. Right. Let me stand up. All right. So it's like, probably like to there. So as you can see, like my hair can't even, right? So yeah, probably like, I don't know, boob length. But to me, that's like, but I'm also nervous about getting my hair cut because I don't know what it is. When I go in to get my hair cut, like, and I'm like, okay, you know, like well, I do need to get my hair cut. Like I have some major split ends here. But like, I don't know, you know, if I'm like, I don't know, cut it to like here, right? These mofos are like, let me cut it here. And one, I can't stand it when my hair like sits on my shoulders or is like right past that, like it doesn't quite sit on your, oh God, I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. Every now and then I lose my marbles and I'm like, chop it off. Like, yeah, I've had long hair like this before and have like chopped it. Then I go home and cry and I'm like, what the hell did you do to yourself? Like, no. And I think that's just all of my life. I've had long hair that I'm just like, I don't know what to do without long hair. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably be like one of those like 80-year-old women that have like the freaking long hair. I guarantee you that's probably going to be me. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so then I stopped over like to check the mail, make sure like no mail came for the office. And my uncle, when I went to stop, he like heard me and he needed a drink, and he's more or less like he can't get up out of bed. So I went in there and, you know, and he was like, oh, Nay, and he hasn't seen me in a while. Because usually, like, I'm in and out. Like, I just open the door, go in. If there's mail there for the office, grab the mail. If there was mail in the mailbox, drop the mail off, you know, and I just go. And because he's usually asleep. So, but I couldn't walk in there, you know, like, hear him, like, calling out for somebody, you know, to help him so he could get a drink. So I go, you know, and I bring him back a drink, and he's like, oh, Nay, like, what have you been up to, right? So then I start going into, you know, like, just kind of what's been going on, maybe, like, the last, couple months, and, yeah, he's freaking funny. Like, he's funny. Like, I was telling him about, stage 5 clinger, and he knows who stage 5 clinger is. At first, like, it wasn't clicking. And then, like, I was like, the guy I always went to the boxing matches with. And he's like, oh, the boxing dude. I'm like, yeah, that one, Uncle Vince. Like, you know, and I was just telling him, I was like, I don't get what's up with these, like, men. Like, and I don't even know if I can call them men. Like, they're almost like little freaking boys that need to grow the hell up. That it's like, now, not stage 5 clinger. Like, he can just, I don't know, go freaking kick rocks on like a glass covered beach barefoot and then jump into shark infested water. Like, that's where I'm at with that mofo. But just some of these other dudes here that, like, I'm just like, I don't get it, Uncle Vince. I'm like, why do they just ghost me and then it's like they come back? And I'm like, and they expect me to be nice and just act like everything's okay. I'm like, no. And he was like, he's like, you're a good girl, Nay. And I'm like, the fuck are the men gonna realize that, right? Like, I just have a horrible freaking taste in men. I'm going with that it's Florida men. Yeah. So I don't even, yeah. So like I said, I talked to him oh, look, it's a picture of me. Because I want to make sure Chicky Nuggy don't forget me. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, yeah, so I wound up, you know, talking to my uncle for a little bit Tuesday. I love my boss. Like I said, I've known him since I was like between 8 to 10 years old. But here lately, it's like, okay, like you need to like slow down, because I'll get paperwork for like billing or the subs, and it will like legit, like it won't have the house number, it'll just have the street number, which I can usually figure it out. But there are some jobs, like for some builders, that it's like we've loaded like 2 different jobs with that same address. It's just different house numbers that they're next door to each other, that I'm like, how do I know which one I'm billing? Or, you know, where I'm assigning this job to the sub to get paid. And yeah, that, or he'll put the house number, but he'll forget the street. Or there's times like he just won't even put the job in there at all. Or he'll put the job in there, but like he won't put like, okay, like they hung it, they taped it. Well, taping and finishing, and they did the texture on it. Like, and I'm like, okay, so what am I paying, you know, this many sheets at this price, you know, like for what? And usually like I can figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know what, I'd say 9 out of 10 times I can figure it out. Like, either I look in my book and I go, okay, well, we paid so-and-so to hang it, so they're taping it. But there's times we have this one sub that he does a lot of our work, and he won't always turn in his jobs every week. So sometimes it's like 2 weeks. So there's times that it's like it comes across where we're paying a taper for a job, but we haven't paid the hanger for it. And in drywall, like, you have to hang the board before you can tape it. So when that happens, I'm always like, how are they taping these sheets if they're not hung yet? But, you know, I wind up calling my boss, and he's like, oh, yeah, no, it's so-and-so. You know, he's just waiting to turn in, you know, his jobs for next week, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and this guy usually, like, his checks can be anywhere from like $20,000 to $40,000 freaking dollars. Like, it's just the amount of work this guy does for us is just crazy. So yeah, but it's just getting frustrating. Like, I don't mind doing it, but it seems like it's happening more often here, and I'm like I have other stuff I have to do then. Because it takes time out of the different things that, like, I need to try to get doing, like the reports and making sure bills are paid and all that good, you know, macaroni and cheese. Yeah. And then let's see. Or like the other one that he does. So I'm like typing up the subs, and I enter all the jobs, like when I order them and all that. Like, I go in and I enter the jobs and I enter the estimates. So when it comes to billing, all I got to do is just type the job name in, and it pops up, and I just hit, you know, okay, I want to bill the whole thing or this amount. And I came across this one, and I'm like typing it in, and it's like for warranty work. And I'm like, we didn't do this job. And that irks like my soul. I cannot take it. I'm like, why? Where's the people that like hung it and finished it and all that? Why are we coming in and going over other people's work if we didn't do the job? Like, and I didn't see a bill for it. So I'm like, hey, like, are we billing for this? Like, do you realize, right, that like we did not do this job for this builder? So yeah. And then, let's see what else. Today, being Wednesday, this whipping chat's going to be long. This is going to be fun to upload. Today, it's just kind of like a fun day, you know. Like, I had to deal with, like, Sunbiz with this. It's like this annual thing with licensing in Florida that you have to do every year. it's so fun. It's so fun. And then I'm getting emails from the accountant that's like, okay, I need you to change this and then resend this. And yeah, it will. I just need to, this time of year is just always kind of like a little bit crazy. And then, well, no, not really, because usually it's like the tax season's like over, but because we had to file an extension, it's just dragging on. And I just want tax season to be done and over with, because I freaking hate it. Like the quarterly taxes aren't so bad, but like the end of the year taxes, I just tell me how much we owe so I can cut the check. Like that's where I'm at. I'm like, please don't send me another email going, okay, like I need you to change this. Or what is this with the ask the accountant? Like, I don't know. Like I sent you that email 6 months ago. Like, what do you think it is? Like, I know what it is. And it was like a ERC credit that we got that I was like, well, this is not like a common thing. So how would like I enter this into, so it's not like a red flag with the IRS, that whole kit caboodle. Oh, there's Demon Seed and Moose and Chicky Nuggy. Yeah. And then, you know, today is just work, fun stuff. Again, I think this is usually why around this time I'm like, I need to get away, because I'm just tired of the stuff. And I took Lady out, and let me tell you, that girl got like some pep in her step today. For her being like an older dog, like there's sometimes she's just like a lazy sack of potatoes, and I have to like pick her up and carry her and then like put her down in the grass once I'm outside of the gate. And then there's sometimes like today, like she was just like poop, 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 like gone. And I'm like, she was like even like kind of running, and she's got these like stubby little legs. So it's so cute to freaking watch her run. Like it just like tickles my freaking like black little frozen heart. Like I just, oh, she melts me. But you know what, guys? Like this is going to be a really, really long whipping chat. If you made it this far, you guys are the true freaking MVPs. I love you. But with that said, I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!